Hola, hola, buenas noches, bienvenidos a todos. Es un placer estar aquí con ustedes esta noche. Mi nombre es Oscar Rodríguez, soy Community Organizer con Azul. So, hello, everybody. Good evening, welcome to our chat. My name is Oscar Rodriguez. I am a Community Organizer. I've been working with Azul, in partnership with Azul since 2015 as a Latino Marino, and I started off in Sacramento, California, doing some advocacy there with Azul. So thank you so much for tuning in. We're really excited to be here to talk about the 2024 Rising Leaders Initiative. And we're actually very excited to have two of our rising leaders from last year's class. It was our inaugural class. It was the first time that Azul took rising leaders to Washington, D.C. So with us, we have Kasia. So Kasia, if you could wave hello. And then we also have Jamileth. So Jamileth, if you could say hello to everybody. So I'm going to share the mic with you. Jamilet, if you could introduce yourself, and then we will have Kasia introduce herself.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Hola. Hola a todos. My name is Jamile Picabia Salazar, and I'm a senior at George Mason University right now, and I'm majoring in environmental and sustainability studies.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jamilet, for being with us. Kasia, feel free to share a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. Hola a todos. My name is Cassia Gonzalez Salazar, and I am a Portland State University student, and I am majoring in social work.
Awesome. Thank you, Jamilet, and thank you, Kasia, for being with us tonight. And thank you to everyone that's tuning in from all over the US and who has been following Azul. If you'd like to learn more about Azul, you could visit our website, www.azul.org. And we also have some questions. So if you have some questions, feel free to write them in the chat. We have Jessica, who's in the background, posting the comments and also posting the questions. So again, thank you for joining us. And this is your time. So if you have any questions about the program in general, please feel free to put them in the chat. So today we're going to be talking a little bit more about what exactly is the Rising Leaders Initiative. So you've seen our posts on social media. We're trying to get more folks engaged and involved because we feel there's an untapped potential with regards to folks in ocean conservation and Latinos who are interested in this type of field and this type of work, but sometimes don't have that opportunity. So what exactly is the Rising Leaders Initiative? So the Rising Leaders Initiative is a development program that equips community members with tools and opportunities to be effective leaders in the space of ocean conservation and policies. So a little bit about that. Azul, our mission, for those of you who don't know, Azul is a grassroots organization that works to conserve marine resources in partnership with the Latino community. And this really stemmed from our founding executive director, Marce, who's not with us today, but as she was participating in ocean conservation spaces, she felt that Latina voices weren't, being included in policy changes. But she not only felt that, she also experienced it when she was in places like Sacramento, DC. And so really that's where Azul is born and became a really, what it is today, an awesome organization that is moving policy, not just in California, but now all over the US and also internationally. So with the program, with the Rising Leaders, the program includes training, it includes group gatherings, it includes presentations by experienced Latina activists, and it's also followed by individual assignments that we put like in practice. So whatever we learn in our presentations, we try to take it back into our community so that we could set, the foundation for the next generation of rising leaders and folks in the space of ocean conservation. So the program itself, as you've probably seen our website, and again, if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat. If you have a question in Spanish, si tienen una pregunta en español, por favor pónganla en el chat. La mayoría del programa va a ser en inglés y poco a poco voy a estar traduciendo en español. Pero si tienen una pregunta, por favor, no se preocupen, pregúntenla. Y si no sabemos la respuesta, podemos regresar y hacerle que la pregunta sea aprobada y la podamos contestar. So at this time, the program also includes, so the program itself is a week in Washington, D.C. So we will be in Washington, D.C. For World Ocean Day. And it's from June 2nd to June 8th. And part of the program is we will meet with congressional offices and federal agencies for ocean justice and ocean conservation policies. And so the week in DC includes professional development workshops, as well as a graduation ceremony and a reception. For those of you interested, I think this will be a very keynote effect that will help you sort of a little bit more understand, and hopefully we can get you to apply, is that there's actually no cost to participants for this program. And travel is fully covered. And we offer also, in addition, a $1,200 stipend for participants. And so you've probably seen our social media posts on social media, on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, that the deadline is actually coming up. It's actually on Sunday, March 10th, 2024. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, you could see that you could easily apply at azul.org. There's a couple questions. The questions are not intended to be complicated, but to get a general understanding of where you are so that we could tailor the program to the needs of the community, yourselves, ocean conservation folks. So we're here to answer any questions. So while y'all type out your questions, so I have a few questions here for Jamilet and Kasia so that they could share some of their experience. So let's start off with Kasia. So tell us about your experience in DC from day one to the end. What did you learn? Any special moments? So feel free to share with us.
Awesome. So yeah, my experience with Azul's Rising Leaders Initiative was amazing. It really was a once in a lifetime experience because I've never been to DC, and being part of this community with people from similar cultural backgrounds was really amazing because I got to hear people's different experiences, and I just made really memorable memories with them because we had like conversations that I wouldn't have had if I hadn't met them, and honestly, when I got to DC, like I was astonished because like it was my first time there and also traveling by myself. So like I felt it was scary at first, but like being able to have met these people who I also met online before, like really helped me settle in, and it was just really awesome. And my favorite moment of all, I loved everything, but it was the Upwell Symposium where we had different speakers from all over the world come, and it was really interesting hearing their experiences, and I feel like it was very informative to me. So yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kasia. How about Jamileth? So tell us about like your experience in DC from arriving. Have you been there before? Have you done some advocacy work?
Yeah. So I'm from Arlington, Virginia, so I'm pretty close to DC. So I've been to DC just like, I guess, as a tourist and stuff like that. But for me, it was definitely such a new experience to be there, like focusing on policy work and just advocacy work. since that's something I always wanted to do and get more involved in. And it was especially, I guess, more uplifting to be there with so many different people with similar backgrounds to mine. Um, and yeah, I think overall it was a very memorable experience for me to just be there and feel seen and be with all a lot of other wonderful people um, and focusing on such important work.
Awesome. So I have an additional question to that, Jamile. So as you were walking the halls of the, Congress, like how did that make you feel? Like I know you said you've been there as a tourist, but how about like in the policy perspective, from ocean conservation perspective, like how did that make you feel?
Yeah, that was honestly super it was honestly such a like new experience to me, and it was definitely one that I think always stayed with me just because walking down the halls and just like feeling like so important and just walking around and like meeting with senators and like meeting with such important people. I don't think I ever would have saw myself doing that, but having the chance and the opportunity to do that was really just super cool and just something I never would have imagined for myself. Um, Also, I guess part of me was like thinking about my parents and stuff, like telling them like, "Mom, like I went to Congress today," like trying to like explain that to her, and she's like, "Oh wow, like what did you do?" And she wanted to like learn more about that. Um, I think it made me realize that even though I was there along with so many other people who had similar experiences, um, I guess I was also proud to be there and like representing like my own family and just like uh, I guess their experiences and their background as well.
Yeah. How about you, Cassia? How did it feel like just being in DC and walking down the halls of Congress?
It was surreal, and I felt like I had accomplished the American dream. Um, it was just, I felt really proud of myself, and I was also proud of being able to represent part of my community here in Oregon. And yeah, it was just a memorable experience.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, that's actually very interesting because even me, when I started doing advocacy work in Sacramento, we have to always remind ourselves that this is our home too. That DC and Sacramento and the cap from DC to Oregon to California to Florida to Alaska, which we did have a rising leader from Alaska and Puerto Rico last year. That this is a space that we belong in, and so it's important for us to be there, and that's part of the reason why Azul exists, and also why we have the Rising Leaders initiative. So let me ask one more question. So what's something that sort of like if someone's on the fence about applying, like why, what suggestion or like what recommendation would you give them?
I can start off. I guess for me, I would say just take the chance and still apply. I think it's a wonderful opportunity, and you never know um, what experiences you'll get out of it, and just the connections you'll make, and the new people that you'll meet. It's definitely just a wonderful experience, and you get to learn about such important work and just be seen within the community and the people that you're with.
Awesome. And I'll change it up a bit for Cassia. Did you find the application itself being intimidating, or the application was it difficult? So if you would like to share maybe that experience.
Yeah, for me personally, it was not difficult. I found it inspiring, being able to answer those well put together questions. I just felt like it was a good pace, process. So definitely, I recommend applying. It never hurts to apply, even if you're afraid, like, oh, I've never traveled by myself, like, oh, I don't know anything about ocean conservation or like advocacy. Definitely apply because it never hurts to apply.
Awesome. Thank you. And I think we have a question. It says, "Are there any prerequisites to apply?" So there really isn't an exact prerequisite. We encourage anyone who is interested in applying and has a passion in ocean conservation to apply. This could be somebody like an individual who's going to school, who already works in the industry of ocean conservation. This could be anybody that has lived experience or has experience in an environmental justice, has been in an environmental justice situation, or is currently living in an environmental justice area. So there really is no specific candidate that we're looking for. We're really open to engaging with folks from all walks of life and making sure that everybody has an opportunity. I actually have a personal story to share. When I first started my advocacy work in 2015, I lived in an environmental justice area, and Azul was an organization that helped me, and I had no experience. But in many spaces, like we encounter in different spaces, we don't get that opportunity to sort of advance. And Azul was like, "Hey, are you interested in going to Sacramento?" And I was like, "Sure, let's go." And I remember going to Sacramento and being so scared of talking to representatives, and so that's where I learned that you can definitely make a difference. So kudos to Azul. Awesome. So we do have one more question. Another question that I see is, can you apply if you live outside the United States? And that's one thing that we're very excited about because we didn't include this last year. Folks that live outside the United States are also encouraged to apply. So, si tienen una pregunta que pusieron, y lo voy a decir en español porque estamos abriendo la aplicación a diferentes personas que viven fuera de los Estados Unidos. So, esto incluye países latinoamericanos. So, por favor, si son de fuera de Estados Unidos, les sugerimos que también apliquen al programa de Rising Leaders. Si hay unos requisitos, antes de aplicar, si tienen preguntas, nos pueden mandar un comunicado ahí en el website de azul.org, o también nos pueden mandar, ahí lo puso Jessica en la pantalla, gente@azul.org. Ese es el correo electrónico y yo lo estoy monitoreando. Entonces, de ahí podemos responder sus preguntas. So just in English, we're opening up again to folks living outside the U.S. So we encourage folks outside the U.S. to apply. This includes folks, particularly Latin America. So if you are from Latin America and you're watching on live and have questions about applying or any of the program materials that we'll be talking, please feel free to reach out to gente@azul.org. Awesome. Do we have any other questions in the chat? Please feel free to also share this live stream with folks so that they could apply. We want to remind you that the deadline to apply is actually coming up. It's coming up on March 10th, 2024. So March 10th is approaching. And so, yeah, we will be answering some additional questions. So pueden compartir información sobre qué podemos esperar si no nos aceptan. Sí, lo voy a responder en español. So I will also be answering this in English in a bit. So si no los aceptan, nosotros les vamos a mandar un comunicado por correo electrónico diciéndoles por qué no fue aceptada, y también esto le dará la oportunidad de aplicar en el futuro, porque en el futuro todavía no sabemos, depende en el programa, dependen fundadores, gente que apoya a Azul, si lo podemos tener en el futuro, y guardamos su información y le mandamos el comunicado para el próximo año. Again, so if we could share information, one of the questions that we see in the chat is if we could share information sobre qué podemos esperar si nos aceptan. Oh, actually, I made a mistake. I read it as if we don't get accepted. Si nosotros los aceptamos, les vamos a mandar un correo electrónico diciéndoles la información. Hay unas formas que se tienen que llenar y cosas adicionales que vamos a poder poner en el correo electrónico. Pero eso ya lo podemos, ya que sea aprobado para venir con nosotros a Washington, D.C. y para ser parte del programa de Rising Leaders, les vamos a mandar un comunicado por email para confirmar que fue aceptado o aceptada y también toda la información que vamos a necesitar de ustedes. So I messed up a little bit earlier. She asked if you are accepted, what is it that we send out? And I just pretty much said that we would send out an email with all the additional documents and information that we would need. Because it does include travel, because it does include hotel, there's some forms that we need you to fill out, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. And we're very transparent with everything, and we want to make sure that this program is the best experience possible for anybody that wants to apply. So, yeah. Do we have any additional questions? What happens? Could you share more? What to expect in DC? Yeah, absolutely. So once we are in DC, when you arrive to DC, we pretty much help you with your hotel stay. So we will check you in. Azul will provide lunch for everybody, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So you don't have to worry about that. We will give you a schedule of what we will be doing throughout the week. Everything is already timed. And we pretty much, again, we want to make sure that this is the best experience possible. So everything is timed. We already have programs in mind. We already have speakers selected. So we're still working on that on our end in the background because we still have some time. But again, once you arrive to DC, we'll give you a run a show. We'll give you specific dates, times where we need to be, and all the activities that we will do. So maybe let's take it back to our rising leaders. How about Kasia and Jamilet? Could you share a little bit more about the virtual sessions? So talk about what to expect before DC. Like, how was it as a rising leader? What were you expecting? Did you expect what you had expected or no? So let's start off with Jamilet.
Yeah, so I think for me, the virtual sessions were really helpful just in terms of getting prepared and feeling confident once I guess we arrived for Ocean Week. A lot of the topics we went over, it varied, I think, from just the intro to ocean policy to then the importance of using your voice and how to use your words. And it varied very much between a variety of topics, but all of those topics definitely allowed me to feel more comfortable and more prepared once I was there that week.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sure Cassia also has some thoughts as well.
Yeah, going along with what Jamilet said, it really helped us prepared and getting ready for Ocean Week and like talking about ocean policy and then writing our own letters to our own senators to be able to deliver it in DC. So I like how they have that variety of topics to talk about. And yeah, it definitely does prepare you for Ocean Week so you don't feel like you don't know what you're talking about, what you're doing there. It helps you prepare overall.
Yeah, so as part of the trainings that we do virtually before in advance, like I said, there's some bills that we talk about that are specific to ocean conservation and what Azul would like to get accomplished as an organization that we learn and prioritize. But there's also different topics that we talk about, environmental justice topics, some of them specific. So last year we had, like I mentioned earlier, rising leaders from Puerto Rico to Alaska, to California, Colorado. And so every area has its needs, right? And so what we try to do is sort of build that foundation that you bring along with the experience that you have in your communities. Take it to DC, learn a little bit more about it, with the staff that we have and some of the folks that will do the presentations, so that when you meet with folks in Congress, the offices in Congress, then you're more prepared. And so we'll help you with that as well. So let's do one last round of questions before we log off. Any other questions? Please feel free to let us know. So how often? We do have one more. Okay, awesome. I love it. So how often will the cohort meet before meeting in person? So we have 4 to 5 virtual Zoom meetings scheduled. And they'll discuss different topics related to what the goals and objectives are of RLI. And as I mentioned, that all is going to be developed within the next couple weeks. So we'll have more information on that as specifics once we have that. But yeah, the program in itself does include Zoom meetings, and we'll meet every week, and it depends on the cohort because there's different time zones. We want to make sure that we're accessible to everybody, again, to ensure that everybody has the information. And so that once we have where folks live, time zones, locations, we'll start scheduling the Zoom calls so that we could do it and help out. Awesome. Well, it looks like we're reaching our time here. Well, this was an amazing conversation. Thank you, Kazia. Thank you, Jamileth, for being with us. Don't forget, everybody, again, I'm reminding you that the deadline is March 10th, which is on Sunday. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you could visit our website, www.azul.org, or you can also reach us at gente@azul.org. Ask any questions. We're really here to help you and be supportive, because that is what we do here at Azul. We're very supportive, and we'd like to connect. So thank you so much, everyone. I appreciate your time and attention. And if you have any questions, again, let us know. Buenas noches. Bye.